Hello fellow classmates, my name is Lauren Bruni and this is my video discussion board about the sickness career. Our textbook defines this concept on page 68 as a series of interactions with others that occurs over time and in definable stages. Upon further research, I discovered that this concept was created by Andrew Twaddle. He taught a sociology of health class at the University of Missouri, which has a website that further explains his research and discovery on the topic. He suggests on the website that in the typical case, the individual moves sequentially through decisions. It is not uncommon, however, for changes in circumstances, such as symptoms or new interactions with others, for earlier decisions to be revisited and sometimes changed. The information I found on the website lays out the specific stages an individual will go through and what each of these stages looks like. I will add a link to the website under my video in case anybody wants to check it out. It was actually really helpful for this topic. My beliefs about the sick role were formed at a very early age. My mom is a nurse, and growing up, she would work night shift at the local hospital. For my sister and I, that meant that if my mom was sleeping during the day, that we were not to wake her up unless there was a lot of blood or somebody wasn't breathing. Other than that, she said you would be fine. If we were sick, our mom would tell us to wait 24 hours, and then if we weren't better, to go ahead and let her know. Really, the only exception to that would be if we were vomiting or bleeding profusely. I don't really ever remember being sick as a child. I had a very, very mild case of the chicken pox. In the summer, I would get ear infections sometimes from swimming, and in the winter, I would just get the occasional strep throat that most children do get. If I did stay home, it would be because I had a fever or I was vomiting. And if I was home, that meant I was for sure going to the doctor, which meant that we did not stay home very often because nobody likes going to the doctor. Since my mom's a nurse, we didn't get a whole lot of sympathy for being sick because she took care of very sick people all day. The only benefit I really would ever get from it would be staying in my pajamas all day and not going to school. I guess as an adult, I don't really get sick anymore, and if I am sick, I generally wait probably 3 to 5 days of feeling really bad before I would seek out medical care. I work now as a pharmacy technician in a long-term acute care hospital, which is where people go when they are not sick enough to stay in the ICU, but they're too sick to go home or too sick to go to a nursing home. The kind of patients that we get are generally very ill or have severe and complex wounds. The wound patients generally are gunshot victims or people suffering from third-degree burns. As for the sick patients, it's generally people with multiple organ failures, chronic renal failure, prolonged ventilator use, or they've contracted BRSA or MRSA or another potentially deadly infection. At work, I see the sick roll being used on a daily basis with people hitting their call lights. Some people hit them every hour on the hour, and some people never hit them at all. You can kind of just tell, I guess, the varying degrees of what they need and what the sick roll means to them through that. When it comes to gaining benefits for myself, the primary and secondary gains listed in the book, I really rather just avoid. I'm not one to attract attention to myself. I don't like being sick. I don't like people caring for me when I'm sick. So really, I guess just the third tertiary gains are the ones that people can gain from me, not really necessarily me gaining them from other people. I guess just from my mom at a young age had told us, if you're not bleeding and you're not breathing, then you're sick, otherwise you're fine. So that kind of is my views on the sick role and the sickness career. Thanks.